So through my years of working with shamanism, there's a procedure known as soul retrieval. Well, we don't lose our soul. I've never liked that term, but it's used universally, so I use it. Basically, what happens is through this programming I've been talking about and through the trauma thereof, we have to separate from parts of our natural expression. Simple socialization, we're taught. It's not okay to be this way or that way. And a certain amount of programming is necessary for people to grow into responsible adults that can live a good life. But our society then takes us to another level of programming. We're taught to be ashamed. We're taught to feel guilt. Now, I just said joy and sorrow have a place to be. So do anger. Without anger, we wouldn't know when we were getting our boundaries crushed. Look to nature if you wonder how things should be. A mother bear has a wonderful reputation for managing anger. You get between her and her cubs and all heck breaks loose in a snarling glory. However, if you're no longer a threat to her cubs, she just goes on about her business and doesn't hold a grudge. She expresses what's appropriate in the moment and gets over it. I remember backpacking and walking across a herd of deer. Wah! They flop their tails. Over the hill they go. I go over the hill and peek. They're grazing. They're over it already. We're toxic dumps of unprocessed, unexpressed emotion on every level. So it's not emotion itself that's the problem. It's not moving it in a responsible way. There's this thing that I've developed in the school called conscious relationship. In fact, we have classes on it. It's about conscious relationship with yourself and others. So I can say to any one of my friends, I'm really getting angry about that. And they're not going to take it on because I don't put it on them. I'm getting angry about it. And I'm getting way more angry than what the situation would warrant. And therefore I know, ruh-roh, we're hitting into a pocket of backed up stuff. And this poor person, no matter what they're doing, doesn't deserve the download. But when you do soul retrieval, when you go in and have a shamanic practitioner reconnect you with your natural expression, you can process out those pockets that otherwise we just have to avoid. We just have to responsibly manage. And that's been the best we could do for generations, but that time is coming to an end. We can decompartmentalize, we can become more whole. And every time we become more whole, we become more solid and sovereign. Every time we become more solid and sovereign, we can risk channeling a little bit more of the light from above and below and opening up another chakra. Now, you know what happens every time we open up another chakra? This isn't about sitting around going, I'm opening my chakras, That was the way of the past. That was the best we could do, don't get me wrong. But when we open up these higher chakras, have you ever had your water turned off in your house and turned the spout back on? It always happens when you're dressed and ready to go to work. All this crap comes out. You go, yeah, I drink that? That's what happens to any place that is unused, that there is no movement. And each of our chakras is clogged full of unprocessed stuff. So every time we open up another level, and like a tree, you better open them down here as in equal to you open up here, or you're going to windfall. We've been taught, oh, higher and higher. What about lower and lower? When did she get such a bad rap? So you open up equal distance. And you don't just sit there and say, I'm going to open my chakra. Well, you could say that, and then you'll do it. And then you know what's going to happen? Here comes all that unprocessed garbage.